third year. Just type in 3, I'll get to know. Okay, are there only 2? Okay, 3, 3, 3. Good amount, I think. 6 to 7, I see. And how many of you are from fourth year? Okay, there are 34 total. Okay. Okay, so for the rest, I mean, I assume you are from second or first year. So to begin with, this solutions challenge is basically a hackathon, or I can put it as hackathon. So how many of you have already attended or participated in a hackathon? Just type in yes, and if you haven't, just type in no. I'll see. Okay. Uh, okay, so I see a lot of no's and 2 yeses. Okay. Okay. I think so. Everyone is kind of new to the concept. I mean, you don't have prior experiences in hackathons. So I think this is the perfect opportunity for you guys. And so a hackathon is, I mean, it's an opportunity or it's an event like where you code on for hours and hours or days and days. I mean, it can span up to 3 days. So you just code continuously and build something which helps the purpose or serves a purpose or solves even a small problem. I mean, it's not that case that you have to build something big or you have to solve a major problem like Elon Musk is doing. So that is not the case for hackathons. Hackathons purely mean you come together as a team. I mean, select any 3 or 4 people whom you are comfortable with or you have the synergy with. Just pick them and brainstorm on an idea and come together as a team and show what you can do for the world. I mean, not for the world or even your locality, to be honest. So, suppose you get an idea to solve a problem you have seen around you. It may be in your house, it may be your society, or for instance, it may be your college as well. So, whenever you have that idea, discuss it with the ones you are comfortable with and brainstorm on what can be the possible solution, and then just have the proper solutions, proper tools to build that solution. And having this opportunity right now, I think you will do good, or you'll show the world what you can build, and maybe get the proper appreciation as well. So starting with the overview, uh, what does it? Okay, so as everyone knows, or maybe not, the United Nations has a sustainable development goals. So there are 17 of those, 17. So as we can see, the first is no poverty. I mean, nobody should be left poor, and I don't think so. India cannot be a better example for this. So the rich gets richer, the poor gets poorer. So first is that, I mean, we have to solve the problem for poverty. We don't want any poverty in the world. And second is zero hunger. Nobody should be left hungry. And the one which I feel is very good is maybe fourth and 11 as well. So fourth, quality education. Um, is there any professor? I don't want to judge anybody, but so quality education, everyone can judge for themselves right now. Where do we stand and where do we want to go? want to be actually. And to solve that problem, maybe you are not in a good position to judge, but if you look around yourself, you'll see people who are not getting educated. I i don't think so there is something better to solve than this problem, to educate everyone and to make use of technology to um, throw education at everyone. That should be the goal. And 11 sustainable cities and communities. I mean, Surat is doing good right now. Uh, just yesterday, I saw the post by Harsh Sanghvi. I mean, the project of canal. That is something we should be looking forward to, or building something like that. It's crazy, I think. And so there are 17 of these, and the Google Developers Solution Challenge is to solve for all of these 17. I mean, you may pick anyone, but as a whole, the Google is looking to solve all of these in any possible way. Coming to prizes, I mean, it's pretty obvious when you see it. Starting from top 50 teams, you'll get mentorship from Googlers. I mean, this is crazy. This is pretty awesome. Whenever you meet a Googler, you'll just feel the vibe. Or whenever you visit their offices, you think you want to be here forever. I mean, this is the place to be. So I don't think so. There can be something better than that. And then comes top 10. So subscription to Pluralsight. I mean, it's a learning platform just like any other platform. And to get 1 year subscription is also good. And to then comes showcasing your solutions. So whatever you build, you get the opportunity to show the world live at on a YouTube live stream. um, so that also is a very good opportunity if you want to show what you have built on a larger scale. And top three, of course, will receive something very uh, what can I say, luxurious, a Chromebook and a Google Executive. When Executive is the upper level than Googlers, so that's a senior level, and also a feature on their blog. So try your best. I mean, whatever you reach, it's okay not to be in the top 50 as well. Just go there and participate. Coming to the judging criteria, I mean, 60 and 40 is the ratio. So 60 goes for impact. So whatever you build, I mean, there are pretty much 5 questions which rate you in impact. So starting with first, does it focus on the 17 or one of the 17 goals of United Nations? Second, how effectively does the solution address the problem? So this is the most crucial thing here. I mean, if you slide off your track and build something else which you didn't want to, or which was not expected, I mean, you will lose your points there. So whatever you identify as a problem, make sure you solve that problem 100%. So you don't want to be here and there, um, starting with X and then solving for Y. So that should not be the case. And is there a possibility of having the next level of the product, or the next level or scalable solution? So if you have the future plan, so it can be a startup, it can be a company, it can even be an NGO. So if you have that plan in mind, it will also fetch you some points. um, and also the testing or the validation you need from the users. So users in this case should be real people or organizations. So if you have tested your solutions and you have the validation with you, so you should be good to go. I mean, you should get all the 10 points. Uh, Yeah, also you need to have iterations in your solution. So it's not always the case that the first initial build will only be the final build. There will be iterations, there will be feedbacks. Uh, so for example, whenever you submit a feedback on an app, so that's what goes into the loop, and again there is a new update pushed. So it's solving the feedback and yeah, iterating again. Then comes the 40 points which are dedicated towards technology. Technology. So first, starting with the first point. So does the solution implement all technicalities needed? So whatever you have decided or whatever components or features you have given, you should be able to build all of them. I mean, it's okay to miss one or two here and there, but whatever the primary components are, so that should be pretty much visible in your solution. And second, I think so this holds a lot of importance for them. So whatever Google technology you have used, you should be mentioning it to them clearly. And it's not, okay, we have used this and that. So you need to have something which is by Google. I mean, that's the whole purpose of this challenge, to use Google products to build your solutions, to achieve scalability, and to solve crucial problems of life. Third, does the video demonstration show the working solution? So whenever you submit something, you have to push a video demo on YouTube. So it should be pretty much straightforward, and it should show the flow of your solution. So you can't just, I mean, if you have had project Vivas, I think so you can answer for yourself. Where do we stand in project Vivas, and what is the expectation over here? So over here, the videos should be clear and cut, and it should explain everything properly, and the flow and the technologies should be visible also. And fourth, has the team made effective product and technical decisions? So over here, I think so your mentors can help you, or whatever mentors you pick. It may be a professor, it may be a user, it may be an executive or anybody. So take help of them. Also uh, look on the iterations or look on the feedback, and take crucial decisions and better decisions to make a good solution out of it. So to divide the solution challenge into three parts, I mean, there are 14 steps as of all. So first step, I think everyone is done for it. Join a Google Developer Student Cup. I think so. All of you are part of it right now. Second, go to this form and submit or register for your solutions challenge. Step 3 and 4, form a team. As I told, uh, pick somebody or pick 3 or 4 people whom you are in sync with, or you have a great synergy and great understanding, technically and personally as well. And fourth, select a UN Sustainable Development Goal. I mean, one of the 17. Then comes the design phase. Uh, Identify a solution. So the problem you selected, so identify the solution to that. Then decide how you are going to build it, front end, back end, everything. Then comes the testing and validation and iterations. Uh, then submissions and judging. So as I told, there should be a demo video on YouTube, which should be pretty much straightforward and should be informative as well. And so that will be reviewed by the Googlers or the judging team. It will be a combination of executives and researchers, I think. And 11, I mean 10 to 14, so that all the solutions and winners will be announced. And yeah, I mean, that is just a valedictory ceremony, right? Yeah. So It will go up to August, as I think. Yeah, August. It will span up to August. So right now is February, and you have to submit the video by March of 31st of March. Sorry. So you have how many days? Okay, 40 days, I think. I mean, 40 days are uh, enough to build something. As I told, it shouldn't be just, I mean, it is not mandatory to build a very big solution. Just go out there, experiment, uh, build the solution you want to, uh, and don't listen to anybody. Like, this is not good, this is bad, and this should be big enough, this is small. Just listen to yourself, think through, uh, think through a problem, identify a problem, and then just solve it. That's the motto. So there are some overview videos, the how-to videos. So I think I'll share the links, or maybe Parth will share you. So you can go through these videos and get educated on how to build the solution or how to identify a problem itself. Coming to the technologies, so I think so there are a lot of Google products available. So first and major product is Android. So Android has been there for long and it will stay for long. It is a very big product for Google, and most of you here as well would be using or developing using Android. So we see a lot of apps today. I mean, it has started from around 2008, I think so, and it has just increased exponentially. The amount of apps on Play Store is just going by a rapid pace or increasing by a rapid pace. And so whenever you think for a solution, it will be either a web app or an Android app or even a machine learning script. But predominantly, it is an Android app, I think so. So most of the users, in some or the other way, use their mobile, and apps are just, in by default, they are used in the mobiles. So if you pick a problem, then if you want to use Android, there are few basic code labs available on websites. So you can, if you are a beginner to Android, you can just, learn through these code labs, and so in 40 days you can start identifying a solution, identifying a problem, learning Android, or learning any Google product or any technology, and then delivering your solution in 40 days. That seems a great achievement to me. Just in 40 days, if you are able to learn something, it's tremendous. It's appreciable. Then coming to Flutter, this is the new normal. I have seen a lot of apps on Flutter, and even I think so. We hosted a workshop last year, and so that also is the new framework to build Android apps or cross-platform apps. So just write one piece of code, and it works on iOS and Android both. So that also is a good framework, I think so. So if you get a chance, go through it, or if you are interested in Flutter or cross-platform apps, do give it a chance. Then coming to TensorFlow, this is the buzzing technology, a buzzing framework. Um, as all of you must have heard, we are using machine learning, AI almost everywhere. I don't think so. There is an area which AI hasn't touched. So TensorFlow is your best friend for machine learning, I think so. So if you have if you have identified a solution which requires machine learning, uh, do give TensorFlow a try. I don't think so it will disappoint you. And coming to Google Assistant, this is what I worked on in my last 2 years of engineering. And so whenever you try to, so the new normal is we are trying to shift from screen based to conversational based experiences. So all the smart speakers or smart assistants available there, just like Google Assistant, Alexa, and so on. This Google Assistant actions is the tool which you should be working on if you want to have or if you want to deliver a conversational experience. So it is as simple as delivering a Domino's pizza or ordering for a Domino's pizza via Google Assistant. So your solution can be a conversational experience as well. And also it can be built alongside with Android app. So you can integrate conversational experience in your Android app as well. Then coming to Firebase, so the new buzz alongside ML is cloud. So cloud basically means optimization and using servers which don't exist in front of you physically. It's so cloud basically is used for scalability, where you don't worry about servers and load issues. So Firebase is a great platform. It has a lot of features like authentication and then databases, graph databases, and whatnot. Then coming to data science, I think so. Uh, Parth has a good knowledge about data science. So whenever you are iterating on data, it becomes data science. I think so. Yeah, it will become data science. So whenever you have loads of data, you need to have some algorithm or some code which gives you a prediction or gives you a pattern, and that's what data science is. And also in you can use Google Cloud for the same. So there are a lot of services and tools in Google Cloud. So one is Google BigQuery, I think so. It will help you run a lot of queries on loads of data. And so yeah, there are lots of data science tools on Google Cloud. So if your solution deals with it, do give it a try. And coming to the last one, but it is a kind of major one, of web development. Whenever you see a website, it is made using, I mean, HTML, CSS, but things are going on quickly. I mean, we have moved from HTML to frameworks. I mean, for front end, we have moved on to React, Vue.js. For backend, we are in Node.js, Java, and whatnot. So if you want to go into or if you want to dive into web development, uh, check out HTML, check out the resources available on Google Code Labs. You'll get almost everything related to web as well. So design sprint, I think so. There is a session today as well, right? But at I think so 5 p.m.
Yes, yes, today is the session.
Okay. So yeah, I mean this is an exercise basically to solving problems. I mean there are prototyping involved. You'll iterate your designs. You'll validate your designs on feedback as well. And so I think so you'll get a good understanding when you if you attend the 5 p.m. session. So this is a very good exercise, I think so, because we had this in a conference as well once. I mean, this takes a lot out of you, and it helps you look onto minor aspects as well. Then coming to tutorial videos, you'll find them. I'll share this link, and you can just go onto YouTube and watch the videos. I mean, it will help you delivering a good solution in the end. And yeah, online support and mentorship. So there is a platform. Whenever you register for the challenge, you will be onboarded to the platform straight away. So there you can ask your doubts or whatever help you need. So if you are dealing with Google Cloud, or if your solution is dealing with cloud in any possible way, you can request, I mean, you can just submit your data over here and get free Google Cloud credits. So you don't need to worry about credit card or paying money for the resources you use. And FAQs, I mean, if you have any, just reach out to Parth or me. We'll be able to help you as well. And coming to the winners of last year, so these were the winners actually uh, last year, yeah. So if I have to say the simplest, or maybe not the simplest, but a good use case, which I don't think so you must have thought, or it doesn't fit into our college until last year. But if when the world went online, I think so the last solution, the MI Camp India, this thing, when the world has gone online, I think so this will be a great use case to keep track of things. I mean, it's crazy. It's not easy when everything is online, but uh, even as a college is small, I don't think so it is a good use case. But if you go into an NIT or even an IIT or a big campus, it will life will be miserable for you when you have to attend events or even go into a canteen. So that's a great use case for me, to be honest. So I have a personal experience to this app, or this idea. So we told our design engineering mentor that we want to build something related to canteen and food ordering in our canteen. So they just dismissed the idea completely. And whenever I look back that someone who made this app and went on to win the solution challenge, it's what I can say. Uh, it's just luck or having faith in yourself. And if you decide, or if you have the idea, build it, uh, irrespective of whatever anybody says. So these are the reviews for the products which the participants used, I mean, last year. And yeah, so the top 10 will be given a chance to live stream or show the product or solution to uh, to the world on YouTube. And this will happen around, yeah, August next this year as well. Okay, so I think so we have reached the end for solution challenge. And as it says, at least I can't wait to see what you guys build. So I'm looking forward to almost all of you to build something or the other and help the community in any possible way.
Thank you so much, Nikhil. That were very enlightening words from you for our juniors, so that they can build something revolving around solutions challenge. So that was all about solution challenge, what DSA solution challenge is. But some of you might consider that it is at a very big level, and how you may reach there. So just to bridge that gap, we 8 DSCs from all over Gujarat, including DSC SCAT, SVNIT, Triple IT Surat, PDPU, BVM. We have organized a hackathon for the same. That is on 13th of March. The main idea of this hackathon is to actually show you that how you can read the solutions challenge. So I'll just show you the website once that we have built. Is my screen visible? Someone please confirm.
Yes.
It's visible.
Okay. So the name of that hackathon is Hack Bash. I'll just ping the link in our chat box. website link. So Hackbash, we have actually collaborated around eight DSCs across Gujarat, so that all the students can participate and further take their idea to DSC Solutions Challenge. So when you will hover through the website, you will come to know that in our team section, it's DSC SCET. We are the main organizer of this event, and others are the co-organizers. So it's our it comes on our reputation that we have to compete with all of them. And this is not just a hackathon, but it's kind of small competition between the top colleges across Gujarat, that who comes up and builds the best solution. So for that, I would request each and every one of you to participate in it from all the years, that is first year, second year, third year, fourth year, all have different responsibilities in this hackathon. So from first year, we all know that first year is very tough for you to build something or implement something. But you are just 2-3 months away from second year, in which you will be having design engineering subject. In design engineering subject, you will have to you will have to give some idea and build over that idea in around 6 months. So you can at least start the thinking process. And when you'll see, we have two domains in this hackathon. One is artificial intelligence and machine learning. In this, you can build anything, any application that is revolving around AI ML, but it should have a front end. It's okay if it won't have a back end, but it should have an AI ML, any algorithm, and a front end. A normal desktop application would also work. And second is the full stack development. So full stack development might create confusion among students that whether it is just web development or what it is. So in full stack development, you can build literally anything. And what do I mean by anything? That is, your project can be app, it can be a website, it can be a desktop application, it can be something revolving around AR, VR, or IoT or blockchain, anything. But that should be fully working, and wherever you implement those technologies, it should have a front end and back end, whether it's application or website or a desktop application. So those are our two domains. And when you will compare this with solutions challenge, then anything you build around those 17 SDGs provided by UN, you can build them along this thing, and they will always lie in any of these categories. So you have the application open till 5th of March, 5th of, 1st of March. So till 1st of March, you can apply for this hackathon. And obviously, you will be some of you will be facing some problems, first or second year students who have not yet applied in any hackathon. Then we have made a video of how you can register for this hackathon. So whenever you will go and see the website, you'll be able to see this video and how you can register for this hackathon. So there are basically 2 rounds in this hackathon. So now again, coming back to first year, second year, third year responsibilities. So first year students can at least build in the first round, that is the ideathon. In ideathon, you just have to present your idea in the form of a demo presentation. So whenever you click on the demo presentation, you will be getting a template of presentation. So you'll have to build a presentation that is strictly revolving around this template. Once you build your template, you can apply in the hackathon. So even if your idea is just selected, you will be getting a certificate of national level hackathon, and goodies will be provided to you from GitHub. So GitHub is one of our sponsors for this event, and they will be providing swag kit to everyone who crosses the first round. So even for first year students, we expect that maximum of you reach the second round. For the second and third year students, if we say that in a war, who is your main strength? Then in this hackathon, SCAT's main strength is second and third year. So we expect each and every one of you that you clear the first round and fight for the second round. So when you will fight for the second round, the main strength being our second and third year, we expect that you might win. And it's obvious that if you want to win, then you expect some prizes. So we have prizes in both the domains. The first prize is of whopping 13,000 rupees, and the second prize is of 7,000. And the same prize lies in both the domains. So there will be a total of four winners. Each will be getting the first winner in each domain will be getting 13,000, and the second winner will be getting 7,000. Apart from that, as we have partnered with Devfolio in this hackathon, they are providing some bounties that are very specific. So if your hack is built on Ethereum, the best hack on Ethereum will be given directly 10,000, and this 10,000 will be apart from these winning prizes. So it can be a case that you are winning in the AI/ML domain, sorry, full stack development domain, and you have developed the Ethereum based application. So you can get 13,000 also and 10,000 also. And if it's the best hack with Matic, maybe you won't be aware about Matic, but it's a platform providing blockchain solutions. So that will be providing you with 15,000 cash prize. And if you build anything revolving around Ethereum or blockchain, you are eligible for internships, full-time role, and a chance of landing seeding up, land seed feeding up funding of up to $5,000. So there are a lot of prizes for you, and as I said, if you reach the second round, you will obviously get all the swag kits delivered to you, and all the top four winners will be getting t-shirts and everything. And you can check the sponsors page too if you want later on. And apart from that, uh, everyone is interested in judges, that who will be going to judge you. So one of our judges in AI/ML domain, he's Mr. Akib Ahmed. He is a tech speaker, and he just recently even posted regarding it. You can check on his LinkedIn that he will be judging the Hack Bash event. Apart from him, we have Juan Pablo Flores Corte, who is the global program manager of GitHub. So it is a really honorable situation to have Mr. Juan, who will be judging in our event, and he is the global program manager of GitHub. I guess every one of you might be knowing about GitHub. So I guess it's pretty excited to have him at the event. Apart from that, we also have Pratik Gogia, who is a React developer, and he has given various seminars and TED Talks too on React. So we have a wonderful lineup of judges. So all of this is just for that each and every one of you connects and joins the hackathon and gives your best. Also on our website, we have our Discord server. So once you go through the website, join our Discord server for all the latest updates. If you do have any doubt regarding the hackathon or solution challenge or hackbash, you can reach out to me, or we have also assigned volunteers in your respective classes. So you can reach out to those volunteers and they will be happy to help you. If you do have any other doubts apart from this, then kindly text in the chat box. And yes, even I apologize if you felt sleepy during my talk.